Hi, I am Mario Mendes and this is Just Listen, where we talk about some of the best albums ever recorded. Charles Lloyd creates music that is easily recognizable. His style is unique and several influential younger saxophonists have adopted his style, with personal variations of course. With the album Forest Flower, a live recording in 1966, Charles Lloyd became the first jazz musician who sold 1,000,000 records. Recorded in 1989, Fish Out of Water was his first album for the ECM label, after coming out of retirement. Manfred Eicher, the founder of ECM, said about this album, "I really believe this is the refined essence of what music should be. All the meat is gone, only the bones remain." Charles Lloyd and Bobo Stenson in equal measure create a seductive atmosphere in the opening of the title track on the album Fish Out of Water. True example how two completely different instruments, tenor saxophone and the piano, can work together in creating same feeling just connected by underlying play of bass and percussion. Most tempo changes are initiated by drums and cymbals powered by inventive Jon Christensen, after which either Stenson or Lloyd builds on their melodies. In Hagia Sophia, second track, mystic flute sounds by Lloyd start this beautiful composition. Slowly, Jon Christensen's cymbals and other percussion join in, until Bobo Stenson becomes a main voice over understated bass of Pelle Danielson. Christensen's style from the first composition works here as well, with minor changes in rhythm. Although this is Charles Lloyd's original composition, we are mostly listening to Stenson's virtuosity in the first half of this track. Only after over 5 minutes, Lloyd returns with tenor saxophone to close the composition. The dirge is the next track, and the sensitivity that both Lloyd and Stenson show at the opening of this composition set the atmosphere for next several minutes of mastery by both. Though he has never been of grandiose playing and showing off, the softness of tone that Lloyd puts in here on display is untouchable by most modern saxophonists. The gentle control over the instrument and its tone has always been Charles Lloyd's strongest quality. However, he has no problem blowing strong and wide open when the melody requires, as it does in the second part of the dirge. Composition Baratti has somewhat different structure than other compositions on this album. By the way, all compositions on this album are written by Charles Lloyd. So this one is different in a way that all four musicians are playing almost all the time. I suppose it requires some additional skill and control of each one of them to avoid stepping on each other's toes. But it shows how well they know each other, and they always move in the same direction, building up the melody until it reaches the height marked by more aggressive percussion by Jon Christensen, after which they work their way down and start building again. Charles Lloyd is famous for always being able to have exceptionally gifted pianists in his groups. Jazz community will always be grateful to Charles Lloyd for introducing pianist Kid Jarrett to the world in 1966, with whom he recorded 7 or 8 albums in those years. Later, Lloyd worked with many excellent pianists. Here is a short clip of him reflecting on Bobo Stenson with whom he plays on this album, Fish Out of Water.
There was a Swedish pianist used to follow me around in Europe, Bobo Stenson. Bobo started playing with me. He is one of the greatest masters on the keyboard alive.
Bobo's Stenson piano is leading us for almost 2 minutes deep into The Eyes of Love, the next track on Fish Out of Water album. Then suddenly, the whole new, bright, pure fun melody opens up, and we hear Charles Lloyd in one of the most relaxed sounding plays on the whole album. Stenson continues in much faster than in the opening playing, leading to excellent bass solo by Pelle Danielson. The whole track is pure joy of fast and happy interplay, which I assume portrays the eyes of love, the eyes of the person we love, the love itself. The last track on the album is called Mirror, a melancholy piece that suggests sadness of looking at the mirror as we grow old. Lost chances, wasted opportunities, a life gone by without much to have as a dear memory. I don't know, I'm just saying how I feel when I listen to this track. Since I don't see my life in such dark colors, I do have a hard time relating to this composition, which I think is the weakest on the album. I had the pleasure of seeing Charles Lloyd performing live, and I can only hope I will have that privilege again. In an interview 2 years ago, he expresses his view of the process of creating music.
And as I said, I live simply, and I'm always a dreamer in sound. So I think, but one thing I say to you about that is that the music keeps me, how do you say, my experience. It comes to the music and it propels me on, and because I don't want to be bored by anything or what I'm doing, I don't want to have a fixed formula. I'm open to the expression of the ineffable. So what comes through me is it's a personal truth, but when it's special and you have special musicians, it can touch the audience and become a universal truth. And for me, music is the only universal language, so I'm blessed with that.
As this is an album I have listened many times throughout the years, I can sincerely recommend it for your listening pleasure. Link to SONGWHIP in the description lets you choose your preferred streaming service, being Tidal, Qobuz, Spotify, Apple Music. Thank you for watching.